If you do like this content, please make sure to subscribe, because Torment of Hailfire for 11, destroying our opponents in a very spicy fashion, is what we try to do on this channel. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. With the addition of the Brothers War, it has given us some incredible new cards for mono black decks, that being Painful Quandary, this 5 mana enchantment that simply states whenever an opponent casts a spell, they lose 5 life unless they discard a card. As well as the Phyrexian Fleshgorger, come down as a 3 mana 3/3, Menace, Lifelink, Ward equal to its power, or later on in the game, 7 mana 7/5, same abilities. The way that we're going to be playing this deck is to have a bit of discard down, so when Quandary is in play, it forces our opponents to pay the 5 life unless they discard a card. But if they're top decking, and whatever they cast, they have to pay the 5 life. We run 2 Agonizing Remorse just to get rid of some cards to begin with, 4 Go for the Throat, 2 Coldsteel Heart, 1 Meathook Massacre, 2 Torment of Hailfire. I absolutely love this card. It might be one of my favorite Magic cards ever printed. 2 black and an X. Repeat the following process X time. Each opponent loses 3 life unless they discard a card or sacrifice a non-land permanent. We do run 2 Cabal Stronghold, so in the later game, this taps for a stupid amount of mana that you can drop into the Torment of Hailfire. We run 2 Shakedown Heavies, just as a nice 6/4, bit of card draw, also a good blocker. 2 Liliana of the Veil to get him to discard a bit more cards, and also sacrifice a bit of creature. It's a pretty good card. 2 of the Celestus, that bit more of the mana ramp, and also can draw us through to a bit more cards as well. 3 Baleful Mastery, because it's an incredible removal spell, and this deck does have a lot of removal. It is a key part. 1 Dread Presence. 2 Rankle, Master of Pranks. 3 mana, flying, haste with a bunch of abilities that can also make your opponents discard cards as well. 3 Sheoldred the Apocalypse. 3 Phyrexian Obliterator, one of the best black cards as well printed. 4 mana 5/5 Trample. Whenever it's dealt damage, the person that dealt its damage sacrifices that many permanents. One of those cards that it's like have a removal spell or kind of lose. 3 Painful Quandary, and of course 3 Invoke Despair. That is the deck. We run 22 Swamps and 2 of the Cabal Stronghold. If you do enjoy this video and you do enjoy the deck, please let me know with a like and comment down below. Maybe subscribe to the channel if you're new. Without further ado, straight into these games. One's going first, though I do actually kind of like the hand. Agonizing Remorse into double removal, and of course into the Painful Quandary enchantment with Gix destroying Mishra. I think it's rather nice. I do think it's rather nice. I know it's Gix and not Jix now. People were a little bit upset in the comment sections of my Mishra video, which if you haven't watched, you should definitely check it out because it's awesome. But yeah, definitely learn to say it as Gix now. I've learned from my mistakes, people. Agonizing Remorse, let's have a look at his hand, and definitely get rid of the Ugin, seeing as you're a hardcore ramp deck. I'm not going to be having any of that. Is that all that you are? Yep, I mean, the Doomscar is going to be ever so slightly annoying, but this deck doesn't actually run too many creatures, really. It's more, we're more focused on the meme side of just trying to get the Quandary off and ramping up to as much mana as possible for Torment of Hailfire. And I mean, even if he does play a Planeswalker down, we do always have the Baleful Mastery to remove it. The chance that, does he have, that's a good card. Does he have enough Snowlands to, nope, I was going to say to activate the Faceless Haven. He does, never mind, he has one in hand. So this is a little bit of a problem, there's no doubt about that. So if we tap like this, does that actually give us any more mana? No, it actually gives us less mana because we need 1 more. So we've got 3, 4, 5 mana to play with. I think we just kill it, really. I think we just go for the throat, remove it, because taking 5 damage is not an ideal situation to be in. We want to be the ones dealing the 5 damage for whenever he's casting a spell. He does have the lands as well that he can start smacking us with, which is a problem. Do I care? This becomes with an XX. I actually do think I need to remove this. We're removing his lands a little bit, and we might actually have to hold up some blockers for his other lands. Don't want to just be taken out by lands continuously. He just foretold Doomscar. It's okay with me. He's drawing through to a card. Definitely going to take the action on this. I think get rid of the Meathook Massacre. I don't think it actually does do too much for us at the moment. So does this give us enough mana yet? 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. It really didn't matter too much. So if we play down the Quandary, next turn we're going to be taking how many smacks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 damage in total. Though he does have a board wipe in hand, so it might just be worth dropping this down and seeing what he actually is going to play. Because if we drop down Rankle, we're going to hit him for 3, and then he's just going to board wipe and then hit us with lands anyway. So at least now we can start slowly taxing May. This is a very interesting Ugin build. You just ramp into board wipes and questing beast and stuff with haste. It's not a bad way to build it. Wipe the board. It's maximum win for haste. He drops off another questing beast. Hopefully we can draw through to some more removal. Maybe I shouldn't have dropped off the Meathook Massacre. I just didn't expect a questing beast. I thought he was going to be relying on the lands to hit us. So let's just see. So if I now drop this, tap the Cabal Stronghold, get enough mana so that we can Celestus first, just in case we do draw through to removal. If not, we're going to drop down Rankle, and I think... Actually drop off the Coldsteel Heart. And I think this... Alright, it doesn't have reach. It's the main thing. These don't have reach either, right? No. So he has some response, unless it is just the lands. And now we are going to make each player discard a card and each player sacrifice a creature. Let's get rid of this questing beast and let's make it so that... Oh, we got rid of his Ugin as well. Absolutely slapping. So 2 Ugins down, 1 from Agonizing Remorse. Let's card an Exile's Doomscar. So he is going to start hitting us with lands, which is a serious problem to be in. But at least now, if he does draw through to anything that he wants to play, he is going to have to pay the 5 life tax for it. It becomes a 6/6, so we do desperately need to find removal. Otherwise, we are going to lose. I take the risk. It was alright. Torment of Hailfire. Is that enough to win us the game? I don't believe it's going to be. So we can do it for 7, 8, do it for 6, 6, 12, 18. Wait, is it actually? Oh, wait, is this going to be mega clutch time? Wait, no way, right? So if we do this for 6, 6, 12, 18, this is in exile, so we can't discard it. No way, right? No way we get, like, the cheeky Torment of Hailfire win. This is why this is one of the best cards ever printed. It just wins you games, right? You get in the end scenario, you have all your lands, you just dump it into this ridiculous X spell, and then you just take your opponent out, just like that. Easy. GG. We are going first with a relatively slow hand, like it's more turn 3, turn 4, though I do actually like the look of it. As long as we can hit a land to get the Celestus down. Hello, my friend. We should be able to get Phyrexian Obliterator, which should work very nicely against an elf deck. So let's hold off on this removal for when he plays the Old Man Archdruid, which I'm going to guess they normally always have on curve, unless he's going to play the War Master. Or the, I can't remember what it's called, Leaf Crown Visionary or something, that he can pay a green and he can draw a card. It'll be one of those 3. I'm going to imagine, right? I'm completely wrong, never mind, Elvish Visionary, okay. Draw a card, he mustn't have the fastest opening hand then, which is tells me a lot, honestly. The fact that he didn't drop down one of those 2 or 3 does actually tell me a lot about what he has in hand. Unfortunately, not drawing through to a land. As soon as we hit a land, we can double Phyrexian Obliterator once Celestus is down, and we are actually sitting pretty. Did you just draw him? Is that what that is? Alright, so I'm waiting for him to attack, just so he doesn't have the mana available in case he has a Tameo safekeeping. Get rid of the Archdruid. And land, thank you very much, game. We hit the land, let's drop down the Celestus immediately, because Phyrexian Obliterator is here to stay, and unless he has removal, like fight spells aren't going to do much, because he's still going to have to sacrifice permanents, and it is the best way to deter attacks, because it's a massive threat. So he has, what's it called? Collective Company in hand, 100%. He has Collective Company in hand. I think I'm actually going to ship off the Liliana. I think it seems a little strange, but he's an elf deck, so he's going to have loads of, like, 1 mana 1/1s or whatever that he can just ditch. And I really like our hand. Maybe there's an argument that Liliana shouldn't be in here, and that we should swap her out for something else. It's always a chance. If you do end up crafting this deck, I mean, craft at your own risk. I'm not saying it's going to get you to Mythic or anything. It's just a very fun deck to play. But if you do end up swapping out Liliana or anything else, do let me know in the comments down below what you swapped it out for. He's playing Harmonize. He does have Field of Ruin, so he is going to be able to nuke Cabal Strongholds, which is gonna suck. I'm just thinking now whether we Meathook Massacre this board state before it gets a little bit out of control. It might be worth it, honestly. So, how much mana can we actually tap for? We can get 4, so we can -2 on everything. I think we just attack in first. Let's see what his blocks are. If he's going to block to get rid of it, no, I don't think he would. So because this pumps everything up, I think it should still actually board wipe him because it's going to lose, everything else is going to lose the +1/+1. So we can drop this down for 2, auto pay, Meathook, Massacre, and clear his board, get rid of all of his mana dorks, leave him on 4 mana, and just see what we are going to be able to pull off. I think another Phyrexian Obliterator is going to be key, because it is certain, like, the way to deal with it is sort of not block, really, unless you're willing to sacrifice everything. Let's draw the card. There is the Quandary. So I think we can drop off the Shakedown Heavy. There is the Rankle. So, again, I think we just attack in and see. I don't think he's going to do any blocks. He is not at all. Let's drop down a second Phyrexian Obliterator because there is not much you can do against it. And I don't think he's going to be able to attack now, because if he Crater Hoof Behemoths, I mean, he's not going to, right? With the boards to do, with that coming down, it'll only be 4 creatures. Probably not going to be worth it, though he is going to have to block next turn, otherwise he is just going to lose to the Obliterator. Such a fantastic card. Like, 4 mana, 5/5 with Trample. Whenever a source deals damage to it, its source's controller sacrifices that many permanents. You know, smacking into... I've had it a couple of times when I've played this card in different decks, that someone has I think it was like, somebody had an Ajani's Primate, and it was like a 30/30 or something. And I guess they'd never seen the card before, they didn't bother to read it, because they attacked, I blocked, and then they had to sacrifice their whole board state, instantly conceding. It was pretty funny, to be honest. Looking like he's going to rope us out of Salt, and then concede, possibly. Probably a bit of a time skip right now. Moment of truth, is he going to do anything else with the rest of his turn? I don't think so. He could have like a Heroic Intervention or something like that to try give everything indestructible, so at least it doesn't fall to the Obliterator. Though it will not stop any of the sacrifice. Oh, he's playing... He can hold the... He can hold priority because of Field of Ruin. And is he just going to rope us out of Salt? It's looking like it, really. Not much you can do against double Phyrexian Obliterator when you don't have spot removal, so I think we're going to take this one. Yep, you're just going to concede. GG. On to the next one. Oh, here's it. He's just taking his time. Drop down a Swamp and just pass. We're not really going to be doing much until turn 3. Is he going to be doing anything until turn 3? He's just going to foretell. I'm just going to hazard a guess that that is a Doomscar. Because you're in a Yorion deck, you're in an 8-card deck, you're going to run board wipes. Yep. Definitely a board wipe because he has the double white in hand. So now we can go drop down Liliana. I think it's going to be a safe bet for us to... Actually, you know what? Let's discard a Swamp. I feel like we have enough in hand, especially with Cabal Stronghold. Let's see what... He's just going to ditch the Yorion. That was... surprising, actually, seeing as he spent a turn putting it into hand. Okay. Ooh, you're a tricolor Yorion deck. So there might be Planeswalker removal in here, then. This also might not be Doomscar. March of the Wretched Sorrow. Okay, I mean, at least we're getting him to discard another card. Witherbloom Command. Are you like some funky graveyard Yorion deck? I wouldn't mind against that. That'd be kind of cool. Drop down the Celestus, and I feel like it is actually going to get us quite a bit of card draw, because I just have a feeling this type of deck isn't going to play too many spells on his turn. Just have to see. The Weatherseed Treaty. Search your library for basic land card, put onto the battlefield. Tapped. Create a 1/1, and then target creature control gets +X/+X and gains trample X as a number of basic land cards. Okay, so you're going for some big spell dropping thing. We can get down our Phyrexian Obliterator, and which is actually going to work nicely if this stays around and he gets some huge monstrous creature. But there we go. There's the Doomscar. He doesn't want anything to do with Phyrexian Obliterator. You know, it's just that card that you need the board wipe, you need the removal spell, otherwise it's just going to get out of hand without a doubt. So let's Celestus. Probably a better way to tap the lands. We can take action and discard a Go for the Throat, because we're not going to be casting anything this turn. I'm definitely going to save that for the 7 mana, because we do have it. 3. Yep, we do indeed. And if he's going to play 2 spells, then Celestus is going to trigger again, at least. In Search for Greatness. And nope, that was it. Okay, so let's tap our lands correctly. that is not the way to tap lands. So this requires 3 mana to be tapped. So come on, game. No need to mess around the auto tapping, is there? So now we can go get 6, get 7, make it black. 7 mana perfectly to cast Phyrexian Fleshgorger. 7 mana, 7/5, Menace, Lifelink, and Ward 7 life, which is not too bad. You can search for greatness, he can drop something down, or scry. He's just going to scry. I guess he doesn't have anything that he needs in hand. Do you have a board wipe or removal spell? Or am I going to gain 7? Let's see. Eerie Ultimatum. Yo, you just Eerie Ultimate. Hard casting it? Okay. Any number of permanent spells, so he at least can't get the board wipe down. He is going to be able to search for quite a bit of lands, but I'm not too upset about this one. I'm not too upset. He can double block if he wants to get rid of the Phyrexian Fleshgorger, though I do think I'm actually just going to go for the throat on Yorion. And how else do I play it? I think we drop down Sheoldred as well. I mean, he can now block these, but at least we're going to gain the 7 life. There is the argument I should exile one of them, but using an exile spell on a 1/1, especially when he's not going to block, I'm not upset about that. Celestus is going to trigger, take action, and now we drop off the exile spell. Ooh, very, very nice indeed. Gain a bit of extra life thanks to Sheoldred. Now we can Torment of Hailfire for quite a lot next turn. He's down to 16. Target creature is going to get +X/+X. Is it number of basic lands? Okay, you are running a lot of dual colored lands. I mean, I get it for the deck, but it's okay. Oh, he decides. Oh, it works well actually, I suppose, but he decides that that does actually need to go. So now let's drop down again. Let's do the tapping just to see what mana we actually can end up creating. It's going to be 5. Let's drop down the Painful Quandary. Every spell he casts now is going to cost him 5 life. Now, how much mana do we have left? An additional 5? No. So let's hold off on that. Let's attack in with Sheoldred just to get rid of one of his blockers, so it's one less thing that he can actually sacrifice. And now every spell that he casts, he is going to have to pay 5 life or discard a card. This is a glorious, like, this card fits right into a black deck. Same with Sheoldred, same with Torment of Hailfire. So he is Eerie Ultimatuming again. Actually, that works. That's not the greatest for us, because now he can drop something off and then bring back Kaya. So he does have good cannon fodder to sacrifice for next turn, which I think he is going to need. I'm just immediately going to guess he's going to -3 Kaya to get rid of the Sheoldred, because why wouldn't he? Nope, he's going for the Quandary. Okay, I'm not upset about that. That's a good, that is a good target for him to hit, because now we can Torment of Hailfire and actually smack in with Sheoldred. Or do we smack in with Sheoldred first? I think so. Alright, so let's do it this way. Let's bait it out. Let's attack the Kaya, because he's going to want to triple block. I am happy with that. This has Death Touch, right? So if I block like this, everything of his is actually going to die. So that's 3 permanents he has less to sacrifice. And now let's see if the Torment of Hailfire can just come in clutch and absolutely take us this game. So Cabal Stronghold, such a great card. So now we have 13 mana. We can Torment of Hailfire for 11. And I think we might have got him again, ladies and gentlemen. If you do like this content, please make sure to subscribe, because Torment of Hailfire for 11, destroying our opponents in a very spicy fashion, is what we try to do on this channel. Let's see, so he has to get rid of 1, 2, 3, and then he's going to take 9 times 3, which it's going to do enough. I think it's going to do enough. Raphael, 1987. Good game, my friend. Good game. Oh, you have to sacrifice Search for Greatness, and it still does it. -10. Let's go. We are going first. I'm going to keep the hand. It might be a little bit risky because we are very much relying on drawing through to lands. We do at least get the Agonizing Remorse on turn 2. Thankfully, we do actually draw through to a swamp. And we do have the Phyrexian Fleshgorge we can drop down next turn, which I definitely think we will. So it looks like we are up against Elves. I think let's get rid of the card that's going to actually draw him cards. I think that's going to be his main engine. Meathook Massacre is definitely going to be a juicy card for us to have in hand. He is a little bit unfortunate on the lands that he get, that they're both Castle, Garum Brig, so they're both coming in tapped. And I think I'm actually going to, first time casting it, drop the Phyrexian Fleshgorger for the 3 mana 3/3 Menace, Lifelink, and Ward equal to its power, which I think is a really cool ability to have. Especially if it's a 7/5, like ward, you have to target it, you have to pay 7 life. Whoever came up with that, that's some big brain stuff. I am a big fan of it. Very lucky just to continuously be drawing through to our lands, so we actually can ramp and get the Painful Quandary off and the Invoke Despair. This has Menace and Lifelink. I don't believe he's going to block. I mean, it would be strange because he has to sacrifice both of his Gala Greeters. There we go. Did not think he was going to do that. So now, again, I think we just end the turn, because if we're going to Meathook Massacre, it's going to get rid of our own creature anyway. Awesome art. So let's wait for him to fill up his board state just that little bit more. And then we can actually very satisfyingly wipe his board. I mean, Meathook Massacre now, as you know, it has been nerfed. It's only whenever a creature we control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. There's no life gain from it. And it is banned in Standard as well. I mean, this does have lifelink, so unless you're willing to sacrifice both of these, I think I should be in a relatively good position. Just the question is now is whether we board wipe already, I suppose. Let's just see what he does on the blocks here. I think he might just take it. And it does have lifelink as well. Should we just wait until he establishes his board state a little bit more? Because we do have 4, 5 mana. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How about that? Let's drop down Painful Quandary, just because I don't think we're in too much of immediate danger of taking a huge hit next turn. Might stand corrected a little bit because he did just drop another creature. Make these a little bit bigger. But the Phyrexian is going to gain us that little bit of life. And Sheoldred as well will gain us some life as well. And I mean, whenever he casts a spell now, he has to discard a card. Otherwise, he loses 5 life, which is a heavy tack. What is in your hand, my friend? If you're willing to pay 5 life, woo, it must be something very nice. Leaf Crown Visionary. So are you going to pay another 5 life? Let's look at that. We drop this down, and it's just given us 10 straight damage to him immediately. Hopefully we don't lose this turn. How many damage are we actually taking? I'm just too excited to actually... I think this is an awesome card. So we're taking 6, 10, 15 damage. That is a respectable amount to be taking, without a doubt. You're not attacking in. Why would you not attack in with everything? Okay, I mean, who am I to complain? So first of all, let's attack in. Let's gain the 3 life back from the lifelink. Yep, none of that particularly matters too much. So now we can tap the Cabal Stronghold to give us 5 mana, 6, 7. And we need to do this for 5, so it actually needs to be 7 mana in total. Absolutely perfect amount. Let's get rid of his board state, and let's tax him for every single spell that he is going to cast. I'm kind of surprised that he took 10 life from those spells. Are you going to take another 5? Yo, what are you doing, my friend? I don't think that is the way to play against this spell, but who am I? What do I know? So, again, let's tap for 7. Okay, let's tap for 7. Instead of Invoke Despairing, I'm actually going to Liliana of the Veil. Let's make him discard a card, and let's drop down Sheoldred as well. So now, if we make him discard a card, he is purely... Oh, I'm so stupid. I misread my own cards. This is the first time I've actually played Liliana of the Veil. I forget that it's each player, sorry. And he sees where it's going, and he just takes the 5 cost. He doesn't care. He knows he's lost. GG.
Heartbroken.